Right on, guys. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about stretching because that is a very important and key aspect to being able to work out correctly. So the thing about stretching is that if you stretch cold, if you do like deep, big stretches, getting muscles when you're cold, it's like stretching cold rubber band. Not going to really work. You're not going to get any gains out of it. And this is very much more for the long-term kind of deal. So what I tend to do is start with a joint check, which when you think about it, the stuff that gets injured when you don't stretch is the tendons and ligaments. It's the little muscles around the big muscles. So when I do a joint check, that's what I'm stretching out. That's kind of what I'm loosening up. Is that I'm moving everything around to make sure that's all good before I start doing the big warm-up. Okay, you can kind of think muscle density is the opposite of muscle flexibility. I mean, you've seen those big jocks who like they're muscle bound and they look great, but they can't like lean over and tie their shoes, you know? It's because their muscles are in the way, and the thing that gets the flexibility, what you want is the tendons and ligaments and stuff that elongates, right? And so the difference here is going to be your density versus your flexibility, which is why a lot of women have a tendency to be more flexible, like even without stretching, than most guys because they don't have as much testosterone in their body. Testosterone literally helps build muscle and this big dense muscle mass. So it kind of makes sense biomechanically that if you have less testosterone, you're going to have less denser muscles. And I'm not saying they're not as strong. It's just a different type of muscle mass, right? And the thing is, when guys get much older, right, when they get like 35 and start going a little bit older, their body stops producing that same level of testosterone hormones and stuff that they had prior to that, and so their muscles don't get as dense, which means they get more flexible over time. Right? Now, the reverse is for women because they stop producing as much estrogen, right? And then they can just get like jacked, man. I've seen some like 70, 80-year-old power lifter females that are just like insane, and I would never want to be like messing with them at all. And it's just like at that point, if you're like a 75-year-old power lifter and like deadlifting a Volkswagen with your grandkids in the Volkswagen, then it's like you don't need to be flexible. Just putting that out there, man. Oh, that's just really cool. But like I said, your muscles, the denser they are, the more they can kind of hinder and get in the way of actual flexibility. So when I do my warm-up and workouts, I save the deep stretching for after that, for after I've broken down all the big muscles and they're no longer in the way. They can't get in the way because they're like exhausted and they're like all, like I said, broken down. That's the whole idea behind like lifting and exercise. You're breaking down the tendons, or not tendons, but the fibers in the muscles, right? Once I do that, they can relax a little bit easier and I can get more of a stretch out of them. So it's a long run. Okay, I do my deep stretching afterwards, and that's going to benefit me the next time I work out. Okay, so you do the joint check first, and then workout warm up kind of deal, and then deep stretching. Okay, that's kind of the best order for the long run type deal. I'm all about that, man. So working on the long term. So that is your order. Remember, muscle density, opposite of muscle flexibility, kind of basically, that's the easy way to think about it. I'm Seafood Mike. This is Tactical Kung Fu Mixed Martial Arts, TKF MMA. Find me on YouTube, of course, that's what this is. Also, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, a bunch of social medias. You can find me on Google, tkfmma.com. My website. Learn all about me in this place. Okay, all TKF MMA. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit hit the notification bell, which I think is over there or somewhere. Finger gun. Bam, 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 bam. And again, I'm C4 Mike. Hope you guys have a good day. Hope you learn something. And yeah, man, take it easy. Be good to each other.